I want to talk to you about breath work. This could practically be a training session. I have so much I want to share with you about it. A breath work journey is probably the most powerful tool that I have in my tool belt. If you love the feeling, and I imagine you have felt this occasionally in your life, I'm going to give you a couple, coming into focus. You know, those moments where you're like, you can, you're not in the fog. You don't feel you're so muddled or confused about yourself or what to do. Coming into focus, a whole organism quality of understanding, comprehending, like you just ate from the apple of existence itself. And it doesn't require this connecting a dot to a dot to a dot, just this whole bite of the apple, and you can really understand something crucial. A feeling of a stronger connection to your higher self. And we all have a higher version of ourselves. I oftentimes use these Russian nesting dolls. Do you know these? All of the versions of ourself that live inside ourself, and this one goes all the way down to a peanut-sized one. And then there's this higher version of us that has a better connection and a deeper understanding and good, solid, trustworthy intuition. Anyway, you know those moments when you feel connected to that higher version inside yourself? You love the choices that you make, the thoughts that you think. So a stronger connection to your higher, more relaxed and peaceful self, because those are usually combined. We're not the highest version of ourselves when we're experiencing anxiety, fear, worry, fear of the future, self-judgment, shame, etc. So usually when you feel a connection to that stronger version of yourself, it is coming from a more relaxed and peaceful place. How about that quality that you occasionally feel of crystal, sharp, clear clarity in your mind, where all the cobwebs and confusion and indecision drop away, and you just get this, like, the clouds part and the angels sing, and you're like, I know who I am and I know what to do next. That feeling, a connection to your intuition and deep wisdom knowing that comes with it. So that's what I experience a breath journey giving you the opportunity to experience. And I'm just going to share with you a couple of stories that I remember. One was, so these are stories from the yurt and stories from online, because I've been delivering breathwork sessions live and lately online. And so this is really a conversation about the online breath journey that's going to be coming next. There will be a date and a time and a link, and all that, and the details will be somehow connected to this video that you're watching right now. But these are stories from memories that I have, just a couple of people who just came out of a breathwork journey, which is typically around 35 minutes to almost an hour. And I remember this guy, I'm just going to use his first initial C, so I'm not revealing any identities. And after his breathwork journey, he turned to me and said, hello. He's like, hi. And we had already spent at least 4 to 5 or 6 hours together doing deep work. And he looked at me as if he and I were meeting for the first time, because the truth was, I really was meeting that version of him for the first time. And that version of him had a lot less kind of BS going on, a lot less story, a lot less defense and pretense. And this version of him was so glad to remember who he was, like who he really was. And all of the feeling of resourcefulness and clarity and sense of self that he had there. And then another story of a lady, I'm going to say Elle, when Elle, after a breathwork session, knew exactly where to draw her boundaries, which up till that point had been dangerously weak. So weak that she was completely failing to ever prioritize self-care. But after this breathwork session, we could talk to a version of her that understood exactly what healthy boundaries were and how to engage in them and with them. So it's like through the process of breath work that a fog of confusion and vagueness and distraction and lack of presence disappears. And you can see and perceive more clearly and more resourcefully. Now, it's not all a mystery what's going on to cause this shift in mindset, this shift in psychology, this shift in spirit. While there is an inner healing intelligence that is occurring, there are also physiological things that are occurring that we know about. And for one, the breath hyperoxygenates the bloodstream. And that increases the alkalinity of the blood, which is something that most of us, particularly as we get older, need more of. Less acidity, more alkalinity. And you could actually use one of those spit test strips and see what color and where you are acid to alkaline before a breathwork session, and then do it again after a breathwork session, and you will see that in those 35 minutes, 45 minutes, 55 minutes, there has been a shift in the alkalinity of your blood. Now that means there's a different blood chemistry that's feeding your endocrine system, your vascular system, your glandular system, which all feeds your nervous system differently. So there's some real science going on that's causing this opportunity to have this clarity and this vision. So I am going to be doing, so that's just a taste of what breathwork is. Now, it's a little bit about what breathwork does. Now, what breathwork is you lay down and you breathe, and there is a breath that I will introduce you to, but it's essentially a deep inhale, exhale, uninterrupted, without a pause, faster than you normally breathe. So it's an inhale and exhale, an inhale and exhale, an inhale and exhale, fully inhaling, fully exhaling, uninterrupted for a longer period of time. Now, the breathwork session that I am inviting you into, and there's some details connected to this video that will tell you about the next date and time. It's usually a 90-minute session. The duration will be posted in the details that you see connected here. And it includes a setup. It includes probably about a 35 to 45 minute breathwork session where you're laying down and breathing. I will be providing the sound bed. It actually has a beautiful playlist that goes with this where it helps take you into an altered state. And then we have about somewhere between 20 and 35 minutes to unpack, depending on how many people are in the group. This is a group breath work journey session. I call it the FireStarter breathwork journey. And I am Michelle Zwicker, and I run a program. I've invented a program called the FireStarter movement. And it's a whole program that helps people achieve personal and professional happiness and balance. And I'd be happy to talk to you about that at any point. We also do a daily meditation that involves a shorter version of breath work. We're breathers. So the FireStarter movement is a group of breathers that really use breath. Oh, and I wanted to say this. Let me tell you this. So there's, I wanted to read you a little bit from this book There's something called holotropic breathwork, which is it's a course of study that people can take and deliver. It's very similar to what I do, but I am not a holotropic breathwork provider. But I love this information here. Every major psycho-spiritual system seeking to comprehend human nature has viewed breath as a crucial link between the material world, the human body, the psyche, and the spirit. And so us in the FireStarter movement, we're breathers. We understand the powerful potential inside of purposefully using breath. Deliberate increase of the pace of breathing typically loosens psychological defenses and leads to a release and emergence of unconscious and superconscious material. Yahoo! So that's what we do. That's what it's about. I will give you info once I get connected to you, and you decide you want to sign up for the next one that's available, the dates where it's scheduled. I will get your information, and then I'll be able to send you the link for the experience, and then also how to prepare for it. I cannot wait to share this with you. See you later.